we go. All right, so lesson 6-6, we are multiplying with 3 factors. That means we're multiplying with 3 numbers today. We have learned a lot of strategies, lots of strategies for multiplication. So we wrote some of those down in the last group, and I'd like you guys to write these down as well. These are our rules for multiplying. Whenever I multiply by 0, the answer is always 0. When I multiply by 1, the answer is always the other number. Multiplying by 2, I remember to double. Times 3 is a double plus a group. Times 4 is double double. Times 5, I can skip count by 5s. It also ends always in a 5 or a 0. Multiplying by 6 is times 5 plus 1 more group. Times 7, we multiply by 5 and then a double. Times 8, we double, double, double. Times 9, the 2 numbers always add up to be 9. And then times 10, it's going to end in a 0. So go ahead and write these down. These are good for us to just remember, because today you are going to be practicing all of your multiplication facts. Leilani, go ahead.
I can't find my notebook. Is it okay if I can just do it?
Yes, you can also take a screenshot of this, Leilani. Let me show you guys how to do a screenshot really quick in case you may have forgotten or may not have known. If you press these 2 buttons on your Chromebook at the same time, it will take a picture of your screen and it will save it to your downloads folder. So when you click the bottom of your screen, it'll say folders and it'll save it to your computer. So pressing these 2 buttons at the same time will take a picture of your screen. Isn't that amazing? So that way, especially for reading and writing, I know sometimes it's really hard to get everything written down in the time, right? And sometimes we're like, oh my goodness, I didn't finish it. And that's okay. You can take a screenshot of it, so it'll save it as a picture and you can write it down later. So Leilani, why don't you take a screenshot of this right now? That way you have it to write down later when you have your notebook. Irving, go ahead.
I can't write that because my sister printed the papers for me.
Oh, so you don't have your notebook? So same thing on your Chromebook, take a screenshot.
Okay.
Do you remember the buttons to press? I just showed you. Do you need to see it again? All right. So I'm going to leave this up for another minute for you guys to write it down, and then we're going to get started with our lesson. And I'm going to show you how we're going to multiply 3 factors together. You guys, I have 67 alerts on my camera from my kitchen door. You know that? 67 from this morning. And you know who's on the camera? Birds. Birds are on the camera. These birds sitting on my fence. I'll show you again. See? They keep setting off my cameras. So my phone keeps going off and I'm like, who is texting me so much? The birds. The birds outside are like, hey, tweet, tweet. And I'm like, hey, teaching math.
No, they're like, hey, can you give us some food?
Give me some food. That's exactly what they're doing. They're like, we want food. Give us the food and we'll go. But they won't. They'll come back with friends. All right. So if you're not finished writing this down, please do me a favor and take a screenshot. I will also post a video on YouTube later. I'm recording this right now. That way this can go straight to YouTube. You can pause me, rewind me, watch again. You can't pause me in person. There's no stopping this. But on YouTube,
I wish we could.
So we are going to move on. I'm going to scooch it up a bit. So if you're still writing, then it'll still be up there. Now, today our job is to multiply 3 factors. We're going to multiply 3 numbers together. And it sounds like, oh my gosh, Miss Mannering, we just learned how to multiply 2 numbers. What are you doing? But it's going to be great because when you multiply 3 numbers together, it's just like multiplying 2 numbers, but with an extra step. So let's say we are multiplying 2 times 3 times 4. These are what your problems will look like today. It'll say something like this, and it'll look a lot like this. Where is a girl to begin? Well, I like to start with the 2 smallest numbers. I always start with the 2 smallest numbers because that will get me the smallest product. And that'll make it easier to multiply by my next number. So my 2 smallest numbers here are 2 and 3. I am going to put them in a bubble. These bubbles are called parentheses. We've seen them before when we talk about the associative property or the grouping property that states that I can group numbers in any way I want to, and I will still get the same answer. And that is what we are doing today. So this bubble tells me, hey, do this part first. It catches my eye so I know what part to do first. So the first thing I'm going to do is 2 times 3. Well, if I skip count by 2 3 times, I will get 2, 4, 6. So I know 2 times 3 is the same as 6. And that's usually where we would be done, right? Hi, Carlos. I'm happy you're here. I'm going to write you down for attendance. Yay. All right. Hi, Diego. I'm happy you're here also. Woohoo. Got some friends joining us. I love it. Do me a favor, boys, and take a screenshot of this page because you probably won't have time to write it all down. You're going to press these 2 buttons at the same time. Come on, computer. Here we go. Press these 2 buttons at the same time on your computer. It's going to take a picture of your screen so that way you can come back to it later. And this will also be on YouTube for you to rewatch. So go ahead and press those 2 magic buttons. It's going to take a picture of this for you, okay? So usually after 2 times 3, I would be done, right? And I'd move on to the next problem. But I have an extra step here. I have this times 4 I still have to do. So now I have 6 times 4 because I'm just bringing it down. Now I think, what is 6 times 4? Go ahead and type in the chat. What is 6 times 4? Remember, we double for 4s. What is 6 times 4? Absolutely, Sam. Good job. Irving, excellent. Let's see who else has got it. Jaslyn, Leilani, Evan, Alani, Elijah. Wow, you guys are fast. Gotti, very good. 24, you are correct. So my final answer is 24. And to prove to you, you're like, Miss Mannering, how do I know which numbers to multiply first? You don't have to know. You get to choose, boo. It's your choice. So if I wanted to do 3 times 4 first, 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So just like the associative property tells us, it does not matter what order you multiply in. It will still be the same answer. And that is what is awesome about multiplication, is you get to choose. So let's do one more. Let's do 5 times 2 times 8. Ooh, some bigger numbers here. Now remember, I like to choose, Diego. I like to choose the 2 smallest numbers because it's going to make it easier for me to multiply in my next step. So I'm going to do 5 times 2. I know 5 times 2, don't I? 5 times 2 is 10. And then I'm just going to bring down this 8 for 10 times 8. And multiplying by 10s, I just add a 0. It's 80. Absolutely, Sam. Very good. 80. See how easy this is? You guys are going to be rock stars. You're going to kill it. All right. So this is your last chance to take a screenshot. I'm going to give you a 5 count, and then I'm going to pull up my reteach worksheet right here, okay? Okay. Here is our reteach for today. This is assigned on Seesaw, or you may have it in a packet, or you might have both. So at the top, it reminds you about our associative property that we just talked about. That says you are grouping things together, but you get to choose the order you group them in. It does not matter which order you group it in. So we're going to focus on the bottom half. The top is just like a reminder to remind us why we're doing it this way. So we're going to start with number 1. 3 times 2 times 1. I want the 2 smallest numbers. It's going to make it easy for me. So I'm going to do 2 times 1. Any number times 1 will always be the other number. Remember the rules we just wrote? So 2 times 1 must be 2. Absolutely. So now I have 3 times 2. And I like to just write it above the multiplication sign to show that this group together is that number, because it doesn't give me a lot of space on here. Now I have my 2 final numbers. 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is, oh, you guys already got it. You're amazing. 6, absolutely. And if you're like, Miss Manning, this doesn't quite make sense to me, that is okay. It just takes practice. Now, here's another thing you can do. You can draw a picture, and it does not have to be some big artsy design. It can be really quick and easy. 3 times 2 times 1. Well, here's 2 groups of 1, right? There's 1 and there's 1. I need 3 of these. 2, 3. I have 3 groups of 2 times 1. And all together I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. Hey, thanks for joining us. Type your name in the chat, please, so I get you for attendance. Thank you. All right, now let's move on to number 2. 2 times 3 times 5. Same thing. I'm going to grab my 2 smallest numbers. It's going to make it easier for me, which is 2 times 3. And we just did 2 times 3, didn't we? 2 times 3 is 6. So I know this is the same as 6 times 5. So I'm going to skip count by 5s 6 times. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Nice job. You guys got in the chat too. Very good. 30. Absolutely. All right. 3 times 3 times 2. I'm going to grab that 3 times 2 again, because why not? I've done 3 times 2 3 times now. 3 times 3. Hello. Would you go ahead and change your number to your name, please, so I can get you for attendance? Thank you so much. All right. 3 times 2. We've done this so many times. 3 times 2 is 6, isn't it? Well, now I have 3 times 6. So I'm going to double 6 and add a group. Remember, double of 6 is 12. 12 and 6 more. Let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 3 times 6 must be 18. See how fast that is? You guys are going to be rock stars at this. You're going to be amazing. I know it. I believe in you. You believe in you. It's going to be great. All right. Hi, Josiah. Thanks for being here. I'm happy to see you. Go ahead and dive on in with us, buddy. We are on the reteach. All right. 7 times 3 times 2. Oh my goodness. They gave us 3 times 2 again, you guys. What? What is 3 times 2? We know 3 times 2. We know this, don't we? 3 times 2 is 6. Yes, absolutely. You guys got in the chat. You are perfect. Awesome. 7 times 6. Ooh, this one's tough. Gosh. Okay, let's remember our strategies. So if I multiply by 7, I'm going to break the other number into times 5 and times 2 because 5 and 2 make 7. Or I can multiply times 6, which is 5 and 1 because 5 and 1 makes 6. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 7 times 5 and 7 times 1 because that 5 and 1 make that 6. Okay. 7 times 5. Got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So that's one part. And now I have to add another group of 7. So I've got 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. That's right. 6 times 7 is 42. And if you guys just keep practicing, you can get flashcards at the Dollar Tree. Best flashcards ever. You can get the multiplication flashcards and just practice like a game. If you go to extramath.com, you can practice on there as well. Math Magician has a multiplication practice game. I know ABC has multiplication practice games. They are everywhere. And the more you practice, the more your brain will learn. And soon you will be so fast at these facts, it'll be like, holy moly guacamole. Amazing, right? You just got to keep practicing. Now I have 4 times 2 times 7. They switched it up. We don't have any 3s in this one, right? So I'm going to snag this 4 times 2. And remember, this is the same as saying I have 4 groups of 2. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm taking this times 7. So I'm adding that amount 7 times. So 4 times 2 in this box, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one group. 5, 6, 7, 8. There's that other group for 4 times 2. So this is 8. So it's 8 times 7. 8 times 7. I'm going to double, double, double. 7 double is 14. 14 double is 28. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to have to write it down. 28 and 28. Okay. Well, 8 plus 8 is 16. That's a 6 and 10. 1 and 2 make 3, plus 2 more make 5. 5 times 4, 56. 8 times 7, 56. Absolutely. Nice job. Oh, Irving, you were really close. 42 is 6 times 7. You needed 2 more groups. All right. 3 times 4 times 5. I'm going to snag 4 times 5. What is 4 times 5? Can you type in the chat for me? 4 times 5. If I skip count by 5s 4 times, 5, 10, 15. Ooh, 20. Very good. I see it in the chat. Nice job. 3 times 20. Miss Manring, we have not learned to count to 20 by skip counting. But we did learn back in topic 5 how to use our best friends, our basic facts, to find an answer for a multiple of 10. So instead of thinking 3 times 20, I think 3 times 2 plus a 0 at the end. 3 times 2 is 6 plus a 0. 60, 20, 40, 60. Very good. I see a couple of us in the chat. Absolutely. Nice job. Evan and Sam, you guys are on a roll today. I love it. All right. Josiah, nice job jumping on in and swimming in the deep end with us. I like it. Nice work. All right. 2 times 2 times 6. I'm snagging 2 times 2. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I love 2 times 2. 2 groups of 2 is 4. And then I have 4 times 6. 4 times 6. I'm going to double, double. Double of 6 is 12. And double of 12 is what? What is double of 12? 12 is 110 and 2 ones, right? So double of this 110 is 2. The double of the 2 ones is 4. 2 and 4 make 24. Absolutely. And I dropped my pen, so we're switching to pink, you guys, because I'm too lazy to pick it up. 24. All right, nice job. Now we have 2 times 5 times 7. 2 times 5, easy peasy lemon squeezy. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 7. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Or it is a 7 and you add a 0 because it's times 10. Isn't this easy, you guys? You guys are going to kill it. You are amazing math rock stars. And I know that you are going to do your best work and it's going to be incredible. All right, number 9. Each pack of fruit juice has 2 rows. Oh man, it's a word problem. Word problems are hard. I like to draw pictures for word problems. I'm not great at drawing pictures, but it helps me understand what I'm supposed to do. So it says the juice boxes has 2 rows. Well, I know this, right? I buy juice boxes for my kids all the time. And you know where those juice boxes end up, you guys? Always under the bed. I'm not even kidding you. I wish I still had the photo. I cleaned under Harrison and Charlotte's bed because they share a room and they have bunk beds, right? And I cleaned underneath their beds and I found 20 Capri Sun wrappers, 20 of them. Can you believe that? Oh yeah, 20. I was not a happy mama. I was like, what is this mess? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm buying Capri Suns anymore. 20 of them. Are you guys waiting for the apocalypse to use these for currency or something? Who knows? There were 20 of them. And I was like, y'all got to clean this up. But who ends up cleaning it up? Mom does every time. All right. So these Capri Suns that Mrs. Stokes wants to buy, because she doesn't know they're going to end up under the bed yet. They have 2 rows of juice in these boxes, right? It says that each box has 2 rows and there are 6 of these juice boxes in each row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see, my pictures don't have to be anything super amazing and end up like the Mona Lisa in a museum. Just enough for me to be able to see, OMG, I know Jaslyn, right? I was not pleased. So I've got 6 of these in each row. You know, when you open like the apple juice or the Capri Suns and you open them up and they're like in their rows in the boxes. So that's kind of what it looks like, right? So this is just 1 box of them. She went to the store and she just bought this box of them. Well, now she wants to buy 3 of them. And we have to write a number sentence to figure out how many juice boxes Mrs. Stokes is going to clean out from her kids' rooms, because that's where they will end up. So to figure this mess out, she needs to think, well, there's 2 rows with 6 in each row times 3 boxes, right? Well, the first thing I like to do is I like to think, well, how many are in 1 box? So I'm just going to count them. I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 in each box. But she wants to buy 3 boxes because she's crazy. She doesn't know yet what those kids are going to do with those juice boxes. She don't even know. Lily, go ahead.
I used to stick garbage, canned garbage, and everything under the couches and my bed.
Yep. I think it's just a little kid thing because Harrison's only 7 and Charlie's only 3. So they're still pretty little, but still. Oh man, my mama would have smacked me into another family at that point if I would have done that. They're lucky that my mom is a nicer grandma than she was as a mom. I'm just kidding. She was a great mom. So 12 times 3. 12 times 3. Oh my goodness. We haven't learned this yet. I'm going to break apart 12. I'm going to think 2 times 3 is 6. Oh my gosh, Elijah, you are way ahead of me. Look at you go. 2 times 3 is 6. And then the 10 times 3 is 30. So it must be 36 boxes. 36 juice boxes is what Mrs. Stokes is cleaning out from her kids' room in about a week when they finish all of these. 36. All righty. Now our last one. Oh, you guys are doing great on time. Round of applause to you guys. Oh my goodness. You have no idea how long it takes to get to this point with some other groups. You guys are rock stars. You are killing it today. You're on task. You're focused. You're writing it down. Good for you. You guys are doing amazing. Nice job. How do you know that 4 times 2 times 2 is the same as 4 times 4? Explain. Oh, writing to explain. You guys are like, words in math? Why do we have words in math, Miss Mannering? I just want the numbers. I know. But if all you think about it as, if I were to ask you and I were to say, Irving, how do you know that 4 times 2 times 2 is the same as 4 times 4? Irving would say, it's your turn. Go ahead, Irving. Unmute and tell me, how do you know? Because, what was that?
4 times 2 times 2. Oh, that question? Okay.
Yeah. How do I know this is the same as this?
Because 2 times 2, you add them together, and then it's 4. So it's gonna be 4 times 4, and it's gonna be let's see, 16.
Yes, absolutely. That is perfect. Great job, Irving. You are so correct. Because 2 times 2 equals 4. So 4 times 2 times 2 equals 4 times 4 equals 16. It's a lot of equal signs. But absolutely, see how easy it is? Sometimes what I like to do, even now as a grown-up, when I see a problem that I know I'm going to have to write about, I like to say it out loud to myself or to my dog or to my cat or whoever happens to be around. And I'll be like, hey, Bruce. And Bruce is over here laying on my bed and he doesn't care about math right now. But I'll be like, Brucey, how do you know 2 times 2 is the same as 4? And he doesn't know because he's a dog. So I would have to tell him, I would say, I know 4 times 2 times 2 is the same as 4 times 4, Bruce, because 2 times 2 is 4. And he still doesn't care because he's a dog. But then it helps me process my thinking. So then all I have to do is I just have to write what I just said out loud, because 2 times 2 is 4. So 4 times 2 times 2 is the same as 4 times 4, which is the same as 16. And Seesaw is a great tool for this because as a microphone button, you can press the mic button, say what you want to write, pause it, and then listen to it back again and type what you said. And it's a really great way to help your brain think about what you want to write, because we remember things a lot better when we see them, when we hear them, and when we say them. All right, we ready to move to the practice? I'm going to talk through the practice with you guys, and then that's for you to do on your own. That is your grade. Okay, are we ready? Ready to roll. Irving, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't finish the diagnostics because I had karate at 6 and I forgot to do. So I did it almost, I did 2 breaks of it.
That's totally fine.
On like 55% there.
I finished it.
Perfect. If you haven't finished it yet, you guys, and for all of 3rd grade, that's okay. I found out today that the window is extended until next week. So we still have a whole nother week to finish. So if you're not quite done, it's okay. We still have some time. I would rather you take an extra day and take your time than rush through and get a score that's not accurate. So thank you for letting me know. Harrison was kind of bummed he didn't go to Taekwondo yesterday. He was just way too tired. So tired. Boy needed a nap, but he will be there next week for sure with his dad. All right. So when you look at your practice, remember, this is your independent practice to do on your own. This is for your grade, okay? Your teacher grades this and puts it in the grade book to see if you understand the lesson or not. So 1 through 8, these are the same problems we've been doing. You're going to multiply two numbers together, and then you're going to multiply by the third number, okay? When you get to 9 and 10, you're filling in these missing numbers. It says 4 times 4 times 3 is 48. So 4 times 4 times 3 equals, and you'll put the number. On 10, 5 times 2 times 8 is what number? 11. Sarah and Amanda each have 2 bags with 4 marbles in each. How many marbles do they have in all? So it's not just 2 times 4 because we have Sarah and Amanda. So here's Sarah. And here is Amanda. I have the best stick figures, you guys. Like, these are going to end up wall fame someday. Boop. Yeah. Sarah and Amanda, they both have 2 bags with 4 marbles in each. So you got to think, how many do they have all together? Yeah. Yes, Evan, go ahead.
Darkness.
You okay, Irving? Or you, what's up? Good, okay. All right. And then you're gonna write how many marbles, okay? Blank marbles. And remember, this is your independent practice. So if you wanna write it down as I'm talking you through it, that's totally fine. Otherwise, this is for you to do after we're off of Zoom, okay? Number 12, Jessie bought 2 sheets of stamps. So they're like this, 2 sheets of stamps. There are 5 rows of stamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, with 6 stamps in each row. So 6 in each of these rows. Or you could draw dots. I'm just writing 6 to save time. How many stamps did Jessie buy? The number of stamps. Okay. You don't have to draw the picture, but for word problems for me, it helps me figure out what I'm supposed to do when I see it as a picture. All right, 13 is another written response. It says explain, so that means there must be words.
I have my own stamp.
That's awesome, Lily. So when you explain it in your own words, the same thing. You can say it out loud to your dog or your cat, your grandma, grandpa, little brother, sister, whoever's in the room, the wall, your pen, whoever you want to talk to. Or you can press the mic button on Seesaw. You can say it out loud and listen to yourself say it again. Then you can write it. Is the product of 6 times 2 times 4 less than 50? And explain. So this is kind of 2 steps. First, you have to figure out the product or the answer to 6 times 2 times 4. Then you have to think, well, is that number less than 50? And you'll say yes or no, and why? 14, which number makes this sentence true? You gotta look at your choices, which one works? And then write 3 ways to write 3 times 2 times 4. Remember how we talked about you can group different things together? I could do 3 times 2 times 4. I could do 3 times 2 times 4. Or I could do 3 times 4 times 2, right? You can multiply them in any order. So you just have to list 3 different ways to find that answer. 3 different ways you could group them together. Okay? Any questions?